Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Daily English Practice channel. I am your host, Anna, and I am feeling absolutely fantastic today.
And I am David. Hello, everyone. It is great to be back in the studio with you, Anna. You are certainly full of energy today. Did you have an extra cup of coffee this morning?
You know me too well, David. Yes, I had a very large coffee because I am so ready for today's topic. It is a topic that I think is essential, absolutely essential for all our listeners.
I agree completely. Today we are going to talk about something we all do every single day. We are going to talk about the news. Specifically, how to talk about news in English using simple structures, natural vocabulary, and a secret weapon called the 5 Ws.
The 5 Ws. I love that. It sounds like a secret agent code. Agent 5 Ws, reporting for duty. But seriously, David, talking about the news is such a huge part of social interaction, isn't it?
It is, Anna. Think about it. When you meet a friend for coffee or when you are chatting with a colleague before a meeting starts, what do you talk about? You usually say, "Did you hear about?" or "I saw on the news that."
Exactly. It is the ultimate small talk topic. It connects us. But for our English learners, it can be scary. News headlines use difficult words, the grammar can be tricky, and sometimes people speak very fast.
That is very true. It can be intimidating, but do not worry, listeners. By the end of this episode, you will have a clear structure to handle any news story. We are going to break it down. We will make it simple. We will make it fun.
Yes, we want you to feel confident. Confidence is the key to speaking. So, David, where should we start? Should we start with the structure?
Let's start with the structure, the secret weapon, the 5 Ws.
Okay, tell us, what are the 5 Ws?
The 5 Ws are 5 question words that help you organize your thoughts. If you can answer these 5 questions, you can tell any story. They are who, what, when, where, and why.
Oh, I like that. Let's repeat them for our listeners. Who, what, when, where, and why. Sometimes we also add a little H at the end for how, but let's focus on the W's first.
Perfect. Let's imagine you read a news story and you want to tell your friend about it. If you just start talking without a plan, you might get confused. But if you use the 5 Ws, you will be clear. Let's look at the first one. Who?
Who? This is the person or the group involved in the story. It could be a politician, a celebrity, a sports team, or even an animal.
Right. So if the story is about a famous soccer player, the who is that player. If the story is about the government, the who is the government.
Okay, next is what. This is the most important part, usually. What happened? What is the event? Did someone win a game? Did a new movie come out? Was there an election?
Exactly. The what is the action. It is the main verb of your story. Next we have where. This is easy. This is the location. Did it happen in London? In Tokyo? On the internet? In a small village?
Context is so important. Knowing where something happened changes the story. Okay, next is when. This is the time. Did it happen yesterday? This morning? Last week? Or is it going to happen in the future?
And finally, the most interesting one, why. This gives the reason. Why did it happen? Why is it important? Why are people talking about it?
So, who, what, where, when, and why. David, I think we need an example, a clear example to show how this works. Do you have a news story in mind?
I do. I actually read a funny story this morning. It is a perfect example of a light news story, something happy and easy.
Oh, I love happy news. Please tell me the story using the 5 W's.
Okay, here we go. Who? A giant panda. What? Celebrated her birthday with a cake made of bamboo and apples. Where? At a zoo in Berlin, Germany. When? Yesterday. Why? She turned 10 years old.
Oh, that is adorable. A panda birthday party? Okay, listeners, did you hear how David broke that down? It was so simple.
Now, let's put it into a full sentence. If I were telling Anna this story naturally, I would say, "Hey Anna, did you hear? A giant panda in Berlin celebrated her 10th birthday yesterday with a huge bamboo cake."
That flows so perfectly. You combine the pieces. A giant panda who celebrated what? Yesterday. When? In Berlin. Where?
Exactly. You don't always have to say them in the exact order of who, what, where, when, why, but you need to include the information.
Let's try another one. Maybe a more serious example, or maybe a tech example. You know I love my gadgets, David.
Okay, let's do a made-up tech news story. Let's practice. Who? Apple. Or let's say a major tech company. What? Released a new flying phone. Where? In San Francisco. When? This morning. Why? To revolutionize travel and communication.
A flying phone? I want one. Okay, let me try to put that into a sentence. I read that a major tech company in San Francisco released a flying phone this morning to change how we travel.
Perfect, Anna. You sounded very professional, like a news anchor.
In a deep voice, this is Anna reporting for Daily English Practice News.
You are hired. Now let's look at some specific vocabulary. When we talk about news, we often use specific verbs. We don't just say said or did.
That is a great point. We want to sound natural and a little bit sophisticated. Instead of saying, the newspaper said, what can we use?
We can use verbs like reported, stated, announced, or claimed.
Ooh, claimed is a good one. Claimed means they said it is true, but maybe we are not 100% sure or it hasn't been proven yet.
Yes. For example, the company claimed the new battery lasts for 3 days.
Or announced. We use announced for official news. The president announced a new holiday. That sounds very official.
What about when something bad happens or an accident? We often say something occurred or took place.
Took place is a phrasal verb that means happened. It is very common in news. The concert took place in the Central Park.
Repeat that after us. Took place.
Took place.
Excellent. Another very common phrase we hear at the beginning of a conversation is, "Did you hear about?"
Oh, yes. That is the number one way to start a news topic. Did you hear about the election? Did you hear about the storm? Did you hear about the panda?
It is a question, but it's really an invitation to talk. If someone asks you, "Did you hear about X?" you have two options. You can say, "Yes, I did. It's crazy, right?" Or you can say, "No, I didn't. What happened?"
That no, I didn't. What happened is magic. It gives the other person permission to practice their English and tell you the story.
Exactly. It's a gift to the other speaker.
Let's talk about another useful phrase. Apparently. Apparently. Apparently.
I love this word. We use apparently when we're saying something we heard, but we didn't see it ourselves. It means it seems that or I heard that.
Yes, it protects you from being wrong. If I say, David is angry, that is a fact. If I say, apparently David is angry, it means someone told me, but maybe it isn't true.
Right. So in news, we use it a lot. Apparently, the movie is going to be delayed. Or apparently, it's going to rain all week.
It makes you sound very native. Apparently. Try to use that this week, listeners.
Now, Anna, talking about news isn't just about facts. It is also about opinions. We need to react. We are humans, not robots.
Beep, boop, beep. I am a news robot.
Exactly. We don't want to be robots. When you tell a story, you should give your feeling about it.
So, what are some good adjectives for reacting to news?
Well, if the news is good, we can use words like incredible, heartwarming, inspiring, or exciting.
Heartwarming is my favorite. It means it makes your heart feel warm. Like the panda story. That was heartwarming.
If the news is surprising, we can use shocking, unbelievable, or unexpected.
Can you believe it? It's shocking.
And if the news is sad or bad, we can use tragic, worrying, or disappointing.
It is really worrying that the prices are going up.
That is a very common sentence these days. Let's do a mini role play, Anna. I will be a friend, and you tell me a piece of news. Let's try to use the 5 W's, the phrase apparently, and an opinion adjective.
Challenge accepted. Okay, give me a topic.
Okay, talk about a local coffee shop closing down.
Okay. Clears throat. Hey, David. Did you hear about Joe's Coffee on Main Street?
No, I didn't. What happened?
Well, apparently they're closing down next week. It's because the rent became too high. I'm so sad about it. It's really disappointing because they had the best muffins.
Oh no, that is tragic. I loved their muffins.
Break character. How was that?
That was perfect. Let's analyze it for the listeners. First, you use the opener, did you hear about? Then you use the magic word, apparently. Then you gave the reason, the why. The rent became too high. And finally, you gave your opinion. It's really disappointing because they had the best muffins.
It feels very natural when you put it together like that. It doesn't feel like a grammar exercise. It feels like a real chat.
Exactly. Now let's flip it. You ask me about something. Let's do something weird. Weird news is the best news.
Okay, talk about a man who found a treasure in his garden.
Ooh, exciting. Okay, Anna, you won't believe what I read this morning.
What is it? Tell me.
So apparently, a man in England found a box of gold coins in his backyard. He was just gardening, planting some flowers, and he hit something hard. It turns out it was Roman gold.
No way. That is incredible. Is he rich now?
I think so. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I need to go dig in my garden now.
We all need to go dig in our gardens. That was great, David. You used "you won't believe what I read." That is another great opener for surprising news.
Yes, you won't believe it. It builds suspense. It makes the listener want to know more.
I noticed you also used the phrase, "it turns out." It turns out it was Roman gold.
Yes, it turns out is used when we reveal the truth or the surprise ending of a story. I thought it was a rock, but it turns out it was gold. I thought the party was on Friday, but it turns out it is on Saturday.
That is such a useful phrase.
Okay, Anna, we have covered the 5 W's, some verbs, openers, and reactions. But there's one thing that confuses students a lot. Headlines.
Ah, yes. Newspaper headlines are a special language. The grammar is weird.
It is. They often cut out words. They delete the or is. For example, a headline might say, "Man bites dog."
Right. In a normal sentence, we would say, a man bit a dog. but the headline is just "Man bites dog."
They use the present simple tense, even if it happened yesterday.
That is the confusing part. Listeners, pay attention. If you see a headline that says Queen visits hospital, it probably happened yesterday or today. But headlines use present simple to make it feel fresh and immediate.
So if you are reading a headline to a friend, you often have to change the grammar slightly to make it a spoken sentence. Headline, prices rise again. Spoken, hey, did you see? Prices have risen again.
We usually change it to present perfect, have risen, or past simple, rose. Prices rose again yesterday. Prices have risen again.
This is a small detail, but it makes a big difference in fluency. Don't just read the headline like a robot. Translate it into conversation.
Let's practice that. Headline, local team wins championship. How would you say that to a friend, David?
I would say, did you hear? The local team won the championship. Past simple. Or, the local team has won the championship. Present perfect.
Perfect. You don't say local team wins championship unless you are reading it out loud directly from the paper.
Exactly. Now, Anna, I want to talk about sources. In this day and age, we have to be careful about where we get our news.
Very true. Fake news is a real problem, so vocabulary related to checking facts is important.
Words like source, reliable, and verify. Source is where the news came from. What is your source? Reliable means we can trust it. Is that a reliable website? Verify means to check if it is true. Did you verify that story?
So if your friend tells you that aliens landed in New York, you might ask, where did you hear that? Is the source reliable?
If aliens land in New York, I think we will all know. But yes, it is good to be skeptical. Being skeptical means you don't believe everything immediately. You question it.
I'm a bit skeptical about that. That is a polite way to say, I think that might be all I.
Let's do a longer role play now. Let's try to combine everything we have learned. The 5 W's, the reactions, the apparently, and maybe some skepticism.
Okay, I am ready. What is the scenario?
The scenario is, we are having a coffee break at work. I saw a headline about a new law regarding working from home.
Ooh, relevant topic. Okay, let's go. Sips imaginary coffee. So, David, how was your morning going?
It's going well, thanks, Anna. But hey, did you see the news this morning? It's all over the internet.
No, I haven't checked my phone yet. What is going on?
Well, apparently, the government is planning to pass a new law about working from home. They are saying that all employees have the right to work from home 2 days a week.
Really? Are you serious? That sounds too good to be true.
I know, I was skeptical at first too, but I checked a few reliable news sites and they're all reporting it. The Prime Minister announced it this morning.
Wow, that is huge news. If that actually happens, it will change everything for us. I mean, commuting is so expensive right now.
Exactly. It says the law is supposed to start next year. It's pretty exciting, don't you think?
Definitely exciting. I hope it's true. I guess we will have to wait and see.
Scene end. That was fun. We covered a lot of ground there. We had the introduction. Did you hear the news? The what? New law about working from home. The who, the government / prime minister. The when, announced this morning / starting next year. The reaction, too good to be true / exciting. And the vocabulary, skeptical, reliable, reporting.
And notice, Anna, how we went back and forth? Conversation is like a game of tennis. I hit the ball to you, you hit it back. I give a fact, you give a reaction. You ask a question, I give an answer.
Yes, don't just lecture your friend. Ask them what they think. Phrases like, what do you think? How do you feel about that? Do you agree? These keep the conversation alive.
Keeping the conversation alive is the goal. Even if you don't understand every single word of the news story, you can still talk about the general idea.
That brings me to a very important tip for our listeners. Don't panic over difficult words. News articles use very specific, hard vocabulary sometimes. Economy, inflation, legislation, infrastructure. Ooh, big words, scary words. But you don't need to use those big words to talk about it. You can paraphrase. Paraphrasing means saying the same thing using simpler words.
Can you give us an example of paraphrasing? Sure. Original news. The government passed new legislation to improve infrastructure. That is hard. Simple paraphrase. The government made a new law to fix the roads and bridges.
That is so much better. Legislation becomes law. Infrastructure becomes roads and bridges.
Exactly. Use the words you know. If you don't know the word inflation, just say, prices are going up. Everyone understands that.
That is excellent advice. Communication is about being understood, not about showing off big words. Simple is often better.
Simple is strong.
Okay, Anna, we are getting close to the end of our episode. Shall we do a quick review, a lightning round recap?
Let's do it. Lightning round. I will say the concept. You give the definition or example. Ready?
Born ready.
The 5 W's.
Who, what, where, when, why. The building blocks of any story.
Intro phrase.
Did you hear about or have you heard the news?
Uncertainty word.
Apparently, used when you aren't 100% sure or you heard it from someone else.
Verbs for reporting.
Claimed, stated, announced, reported.
Reaction adjectives.
Shocking, incredible, disappointing, heartwarming.
Headline grammar.
Present simple in writing, man wins, but past simple or present perfect in speaking. The man won or the man has won.
Paraphrasing.
Using simple words to explain complex ideas. Law instead of legislation.
Woo, you passed the test, David. A+ for you.
Thank you, teacher. Laughs.
But really, listeners, talking about the news is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice.
So here is our challenge for you this week. We want you to find one news story. It can be from the BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, or even a local English newspaper in your country.
Just one story. Read it. Identify the 5 W's. Who, what, where, when, why. Write them down if you need to.
Then find a friend, a language partner, or even talk to your cat or dog. Tell them the story using the phrases we learned today. Hey, did you hear about? Apparently, I think it's.
If you talk to your dog and he answers back, please call us immediately. That is breaking news.
Laughs. That would be the biggest story of the year. Talking Dog Explains Inflation.
I would listen to that podcast.
Me too. Before we go, I just want to say to our listeners, your English is getting better every day. Talking about real-world topics is a big step. Be proud of yourself for trying.
Yes, don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you forget a word, describe it. If you get the grammar wrong, it's okay. Just keep communicating. You are doing a great job.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Daily English Practice channel. We really appreciate you spending your time with us.
If you liked this episode, please share it with a friend who is learning English. It helps us grow.
Stay curious, stay positive, and keep practicing.
See you next time, everyone. Have a wonderful news-filled day.
Goodbye.
Bye.